Now, number 5. Perhaps the most important mark of a good writer is subordination. And subordination is such a key component to good writing that you want to base your essay writing around this principle. All good writers use subordination as much as possible. In fact, I think it was Harvard that did a study several years ago, studying the work of the best American writers, and guess what the #1 criteria for good writing among top American writers was?
Subordination.
Subordination, exactly. So let's talk about this in some detail. Subordination. Subordination is really sentence variety, and it's crucial to good writing and a high mark on the SAT essay. Here's what subordination is not. It's staccato sentence structure that just goes subject, verb, object. Subject, verb, object. Subject, verb, boring. For example, I went to the store, I bought milk, I drove home. Not much variety going on there. It's very, very straightforward and soporific, which is to say sleep-inducing, SAT word. Soporific, sleep-inducing. The readers are going to go to sleep and your score will plummet. So let's put this in a more sophisticated context now with the heroine of the civil rights movement. Anybody remember Rosa Parks? Okay, let's take a couple of sentences using Rosa to show how subordination can be used effectively for good writing on the SAT essay. So here's a more sophisticated way of talking about subordination. We're using Rosa Parks from the civil rights movement. We've got 2 sentences. They're not bad, but they're straightforward subject, verb, object. Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on the bus. Period. She inspired the civil rights movement. Now it's workable, it's functional, but it doesn't have a lot of flow to it. So what we want to do with subordination is take the same ideas, the same content, and fashion a more intelligent and free-flowing sentence out of it. And there's a couple of ways to do that. We can either take one of these sentences and make it as a long lead-in before we get to the main sentence, which would be subject, verb, object. Or we can put subordination in between the subject and the verb and finish off with the object. Or we can start with the subject and the verb and the object and then tag along the rest of the sentence as an adjunct to the original sentence. And all 3 of these are ways to increase the sentence variety in your essay and increase your score along with it. So let's see if we can piece this together. We've got Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on the bus. She inspired the civil rights movement. How can we take one of these sentences and use it as a lead-in to the other to get better sentence flow? Any ideas? Yeah.
After refusing to give up her seat on the bus, Rosa Parks inspired the civil rights movement.
Perfect. After refusing to give up her seat on the bus, Rosa Parks inspired the civil rights movement. Now it is a lot better flow. Good. Now let's try the second thing, where we got Rosa Parks to begin, and then her action over here, and we're going to interject something in between those. Anybody have an idea how to do this? Yeah, Jason.
Rosa Parks inspired the civil rights movement by refusing to give up her seat on the bus.
Well, that's good. That's more of a line, more in line with this one right here. Rosa Parks inspired the civil rights movement by refusing to give up her seat on the bus. That's put in the first sentence last and tagging it onto the main sentence here, which is also good. And the one in the middle, can anybody think how we're going to do this one? Put the, this is a little more complicated because you'd have to kind of like add some information here, but Charlie, what do you think?
Rosa Parks inspiring the civil rights movement refused to give up her seat on the bus.
Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. Or you could even make it into a noun instead of inspiring. You could say Rosa Parks, an inspiration to the civil rights movement, refused to give up her seat on the bus. So, after refusing to give up her seat on the bus, Rosa Parks inspired the civil rights movement. Rosa Parks, an inspiration to the civil rights movement, refused to give up her seat on the bus. Or Rosa Parks inspired the civil rights movement by refusing to give up her seat on the bus. All of those are different ways of doing subordination, which is to say sentence variety. Key to good writing on the SAT essay, and key to good writing everywhere. You've got to have sentence variety to be a good writer. So, to recap now, what have we got? We've got flash vocab, transitions, and subordination. 3 key marks to being a good writer. In addition to those, we also have to have a thesis, and we have to have structure, organization for our essay. So that's 5 pieces. Any questions so far?